Here's a singles match that our Mr. Lynch is gonna definitely enjoy.
Why?
It's a battle of the Texan Cowboys as Big Bob Duncum has an in-ring showdown with Best of the West Jim Dandy Deakins.
Oh, well, that does sound pretty good.
Introducing first accompanied by Dirty Dutch Mantell from Laredo, Texas, weighing 262 pounds, here's Big Bob Duncum.
Well, not exactly sure where Dirty Dutch Mantell has been hiding himself, but he's back tonight. Ready to back up Big Bob Duncum at ringside. He's got to be pretty happy prime-time Bobby Mills won his match at Rage the other night, so the Unholy Trinity seems to be doing not too badly for themselves at the present time.
Man, to Texans, to Cowboy Texans at that. Your loyalty must be all over the place. So, who are you favoring in this duel?
No, my loyalties aren't all over the place, DB. My loyalties definitely lie with Jim Dandy Deakins of Best of the West. I have a great deal of respect for Big Bob Duncum, just not the way he does business.
Seems like the members of the Unholy Trinity and Best of the West could be the most natural enemies since a mongoose and a snake. Watch for Dirty Dutch to live up to the nickname, no doubt offering assistance to Bob Duncum.
His opponent, representing Best of the West, and accompanied by our WWL Mid-South champion, Billy White Moon, from Houston, Texas, weighing 256 pounds, Jim Dandy Deakins.
The Mid-South champ, standing ringside with Jim Dandy tonight, but Billy White Moon will be defending the Mid-South belt Monday night at the Memorial Day card, and naturally, Billy is concerned with Monday night. But putting that aside for this evening, as he supports his tag team partner in this dust-up with Bobby Duncum. What a time for Dutch Mantell to decide to come out of hiding. Couldn't possibly be worse for Best of the West.
Yeah, Wally, you know Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will, and at the worst possible time. But I'm sure Best of the West will find a good workaround. Man, Big Bob Duncum looking primed and ready to go here as Willie Johnson sounds the bell. Late comes center ring, hard rights. Countered by Jim Dandy Deakins. Bobby Duncum whipped to the far corner. Goes behind on Jim Dandy. Spins him around. Hard whip to the ropes. Duncum ducks under. Jim Dandy counters, gets him up over the shoulders. And look at this. A little bit of an old school classic right there, the old airplane spin. And down goes Big Bob Duncum. Brain scrambled and all. Back body drop for Jim Dandy. Big Bob Duncum perhaps not as scrambled as I thought. Jim Dandy counters with a right. Winds up the arm of Big Bob Duncum. Duncum counters with an elbow to the head. Here, whoa, a couple of quick jabs you didn't even see fall. Wow. Duncum whipped to the far corner again. Jim Dandy drives an elbow into the chest and drops him. Dutch Mantell got to be a little bit concerned at this point. You can see it. He's a little bit worried. Bobby Duncum getting his head twisted off over here by Jim Dandy Deakins. Once more, Deakins with Duncum up over the shoulders. This time, Snake Eyes right into the top turnbuckle in the far corner, running cowboy boots to the chest. Yeah, you ain't kidding this one. Oh, man. Dutch Mantell looks like he's trying to get his 2 cents in, and a slam to the back of the head for Jim Dandy Deakins by Big Bob Duncum, who's working in a stump puller on the... Oh, man. Dutch Mantell hadn't forgotten how, even after all this time away, brings a steel chair into the ring. Bobby Duncum with a kick to the midsection. A counter by Jim Dandy Deakins. Duncum slams him down with a Michinoku driver, covers the leg one, but only a one. And barely just a one, too. Jim Dandy rolls out onto the floor. Takes himself back inside. Bobby Duncum whipped into the corner, a clothesline to the back. Down goes Big Bob Duncum as Jim Dandy Deakins covers one, and just a one. Again, only barely just a one. Both these guys still got way too much steam in the tank. Bobby Duncum slips behind a Russian leg sweep on Jim Dandy. Not a bad counter by Big Bob Duncum. Clothesline Takes Jim Dandy Deakins down, followed up with a stomp to the back of the head. A flip over neck whip from Big Bob Duncum. Oh, here we go. The unholy trinity up to their usual tricks. Bobby Duncum exposing the steel on the turnbuckle. Jim Dandy with a kick to the midsection. Oh, clothesline didn't work. He winds up getting hung up on the top rope. Jim Dandy rounded up by Bob Duncum. Turns him around, neck breaker. And here we go again. And he's going to expose all four of them things by the time he's done. Big Bob Duncum rounds up Jim Dandy, looking to whip him into one of those corners. As Willie Johnson gets rid of that chair. Shots to the midsection from Jim Dandy to Bobby Duncum. Look at this. Setting him up. He's got him up. There's a pile driver. Boom. Bobby Duncum caught all of it. Rolls out quickly. Rolls back in. Hoping for a reset here. Jim Dandy whipped to the far corner. A clothesline takes him down center ring. Big Bob Duncum with a single leg crab on Jim Dandy. Billy White Moon rallying his partner here. As Jim Dandy gets back on his feet, delivers a kick to the chest. Big Bob Duncum follows it up with a stomp to the midsection. Drives a knee into the back of Big Bob Duncum. Jim Dandy Deakins drags him center ring, goes for the cover and hooks the leg one. And again, barely just a one. Wow, these guys are not giving up easy. Swing and a miss with the kick. Bobby Duncum countered with a kick to the back of the leg from Jim Dandy. He's got him all the way up. Atomic drop. Willie Johnson's got one of them turnbuckles back in. Jim Dandy Deakins with a series of quick jab. Whoa, man, 5 jabs. Little fancy footwork and 2 shots straight to the chest. Down goes Big Bob Duncum. Jim Dandy Deakins. Oh, well, that's not going to work. Dutch Mantell distracting Willie Johnson, so he can't make the count. Up over the shoulders goes Jim Dandy, elbows to the side of the head of Big Bob Duncum. Another jab, a bionic elbow to the head. He is busted open, Bobby Duncum. Here's a cover. 1. But, wow, Dutch Mantell practically trying to pull either Jim Dandy or Bobby Duncum out of the ring. Jim Dandy, annoyed but undaunted, takes himself all the way up to the top turnbuckle. Boom! Big time crossbody right across the gut of Big Bob Duncum. Jim Dandy Deakins covers and hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Call this one a wrap. Jim Dandy Deakins defeats Bobby Duncum by pinfall. Let's get the official time.
The time, 5 minutes and 21 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Jim Dandy Deakins.
Okay, this Cowboy Showdown was a fire that burned very brightly, but only for a short time. Duncum and Jim Dandy swapping momentum shifts back and forth, insanely fast, and it was pretty much anyone's match to win. But Jim Dandy Deakins spots a single mistake by Big Bob Duncum and turned it into a 3-count pinfall win for himself and Best of the West.
I've taken a real shine to Deakins, Billy White Moon, and Tex McKenzie. Man, if he had been at ringside instead of White Moon, Tex might have passed out from Texan overload.
Yeah, I might have just done that. We'll be right back with more RWL Snarl right after the break. Stick around.